My name is Charles Michael Yunker. My highest rank in the Navy was Radarman second class E5. Later I served in the Kansas National Guard and attained the rank of E6. Our nemesis was the USS Lind. That's where our Commodore was on board in the Lind. We had three ships, the Thomas, the Kepler, DD-764s, DD-765 in the Lind. Nobody liked anybody on the Lind. And I asked one of the spotters one day, I says, "Do you ever spot for the Lind?" And he says, "Yeah." "How are they?" So it takes about a half an hour to get them on target. You give them a repeat and they'll hit Cambodia, Laos, any place but Vietnam. That was kind of funny, but on the, we started receiving, we took on a bunch of ammunition and we started getting premature blasts. You'd fire them and they'd get a few miles out and explode in midair. And it's a lot of hindsight. We're like our second day on the line. And everything, some of the rounds are landing. Some of them, like I said, are getting a mile or two down range and they explode. Well, apparently, hindsight is, 20/20. Should have stood down and found out what the hell was going on with that ammunition. But I've heard it was World War II ammunition. But apparently when it was, the official word was that there was an O-ring or something missing on some of those rounds. And we're doing this mission and we're firing, getting several, and it was getting embarrassing because I know we were getting like one gun, 5 rounds fire for effect. Well, we might have to fire 8 of them before we knew that 8 of them went out or got on target. And if I remember correctly, I want to say it was like the second round of, or the second command of 1 gun fire for 5 rounds fire for effect. And I'm standing there, boom, boom, boom. What the hell was that? The first boom was a round that went out. The second boom was a firing, but the boom, boom, that second boom was the gun mount exploding. And it blew the door to CIC open and I could see right out into the bridge. The whole front of the ship was just a big ball of orange and gray from the blast. And we went to general quarters. Our damage control guys got the fire out in like 30 seconds. Of course, most of it was flash explosion, but the secondary fires were put out. A guy that by the name of Gary Purdy, who's no longer with us, was the damage controlman. He got a medal of some sort. He got in there and was throwing rounds over the side so they didn't explode. I know that I went over the radio, and I'm kicking myself for this, but I went over in plain language and said, "Scrub this mission, we just had a gun mount explosion." And for some reason I asked said request 3 medevac helicopters. Why I said 3, I don't know. And I don't know if my request was, I don't know if that was also duplicated, because later on we had 3 helicopters come in. But I just remember I was very sensitive to security. issues, and I cannot believe that I actually said scrub this mission. We're anchored a mile off the shore, or 1,500 yards off the shore, less than a mile. And this dummy says, we just had a gun mount explosion. You know, if there was anybody out there had any idea of shooting at us, we were very vulnerable, and that's always been an embarrassment to me that I actually said that. I cannot believe I did that, but I know I did it. They got the fire out, we got the helicopters on board, they evacuated the wounded first, and they took the 3 fellows off that were killed. And it was very quiet, very somber on ship. We pulled anchor and went off station.